What is up, squids? Welcome back to another episode, and today's video topic is going to be the top 5 things I dislike about my Honda Grom. Now, I've already made a video about the top 5 things I love or like about the Grom. So this video is going to be the top 5 things I dislike about the Grom. Now, I will say before I start, I had to really nitpick this bike to find things that I didn't like about it. There is one major thing I don't like about it, and I'm going to save it until the end. But really everything else are things that I can live with. But, you know, for the sake of the video, I put them down as negatives, okay? But again, it's shit that I can live with, so it's not a big deal. They're certainly not things that would turn me off of buying one if you're on the fence about buying one. So number one, the first thing I don't like about the Honda Grom are the clutch and front brake levers. They're very large, and the clutch lever specifically, it's very squishy, and you have to let it out almost all the way before the bike starts to catch. So I don't really like that. The second thing I don't like about the Grom is, again, this is nitpicking really, but the seat. If you're riding around town and you're not riding for a very long period of time, I would say anything less than like an hour and a, well, let's say less than 2 hours, hour and a half, you'll be fine. If you're going to be riding all day and you don't ride consistently, yeah, your ass is probably going to get sore, okay? All right, number 3 thing I don't like about the Grom is the exhaust. Now this is a legitimate gripe. It sounds okay, all right? It's certainly not loud, and it's not as guttural or throaty, or doesn't sound as cool as like an aftermarket slip-on or an aftermarket full-blown exhaust system, obviously. It weighs over 10 pounds, I think, and it doesn't sound very good. More than likely, you know, I'm going to put a slip-on eventually on it, but I've not done that yet. So yeah, that's number 3. All right, so number 4 thing I don't like about the Honda Grom is the rear fender. And, you know, they have to do that, I guess, from the factory. All motorcycles have a really shitty, ugly rear fender. I got a fender eliminator kit, Kimimoto. I talked about this in my Grom upgrade video. You can check that out. So the rear fender's ugly, it's big, it's, you know, it's one of the first things people change, and it definitely was one of the first things I changed. Okay, number 5. Now number 5 is a legitimate mechanical issue that I very quickly discovered about this motorcycle. One thing that people report about on this little bike, and like I said, I've encountered it multiple times, is the ghost gears. People more often talk about the ghost neutral. So like when you're at a stop and you're wanting to put if you're at a stop and you're wanting to put the bike in park, essentially, before you get off it, you should put your bike in neutral. So you come to a stop, you're in first gear, and you try to just barely click up to neutral, and mine will either go into second, or the gear indicator will just go blank altogether. So I either have to keep the clutch in and roll forward or roll backwards, back to first, and I keep having to search for neutral. Finally, it'll find neutral, or it'll go to second. And this happens quite a bit. It even happens when I come to a sudden stop and I'm in second or third, and I want to go down to second or down to first. It won't find it, or you know, it's just the gearing in this bike, as best I can describe it, is hit and miss. Now, it only happens at low speed, and it only happens at sudden stops or when the bike's completely stopped and you're trying to park it and turn it off. I've never had an issue like shifting while I'm driving. It's never caused me to you know, have an accident or anything even close to that. It's just annoying. I gave those guys a bike wave, by the way, and they didn't reciprocate. Honda needs to, in my opinion, they need to fix that, because it's really annoying. I understand it's a budget motorcycle or whatever, but these things are loved by everybody, and if everybody's having to experience the hit and miss gearing system, my God, what a nightmare. You know, check out my other video of top 5 things I like about the Grom, because honestly, the only legitimate gripe that I have really is the gearing. Everything else can be lived with and dealt with or replaced. Very cheap and very easy. So again, don't let the top 5 things I don't like about it turn you off of buying one. Alright guys, if you stuck around to the video, please don't forget to like and subscribe down below. Leave in the comments what you don't like about yours. Let other people know that are maybe thinking about getting one. And until next time, peace!